Two children accused of luring an 11-year-old classmate to his death so that they could rob him of just around £2.50 worth, the equivalent of £2.50 worth of pocket money, have been detained by police in Egypt. The two suspected killers had invited their primary school victim, named as Mustafa Izat, to come and play with them. Hey buddy, let's go have some fun. They took him to an abandoned house in northern Egypt, and then the two boys allegedly strangled 11-year-old Mustafa. Why did they do that? They did that so that they could steal from him everything that he had on him, which was roughly equivalent to £2.50, actually 100 EGP. I'm not sure of that currency, Egyptian currency. What did they do with that money? Well, they went to the shops, they bought sweets and crisps. Two boys killed their 11-year-old classmate to steal his money so they could buy some sweets and crisps. The police chief said that the little boy's body was retrieved after local farmers spotted it. An autopsy revealed that Mustafa had been strangled to death. He was left with bruises and abrasions around his neck. The police said that the money had been a gift to Mustafa because of Eid al-Fitr, if I pronounce that correctly, Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of Ramadan for Muslims. The two suspects, who have not been named, reportedly confessed to the murder, saying that they robbed him before fleeing to go and buy sweets and crisps. That's as much info as we have. The news article has not confirmed whether or not the two minors that lured and murdered their 11-year-old classmate were not told if they've been charged. I would hope that they are charged. I understand that there's a lot of controversy when young children are involved in heinous, brutal crimes. We're not told the age of the two boys, but, it would make sense that they're 11 years of age. They're in the same class as the 11-year-old that they murdered, Mustafa Izat. But I would be thinking, if these boys are sick enough, twisted enough, psychologically impaired enough, evil enough to purposefully murder anyone, or even anything pretty much, but anyone, that those boys need to be locked up. Be that in a mental institution, be that in a juvenile facility, be that in a prison. Either way, they need to be taken out of society. I'm not an expert on these kind of situations. I kind of refer back to the James Bulger case, which was a very famous case, heavily publicized when I was growing up. Can't remember the full details, but two boys, I think 10, 11, 12, brutally killed, tortured, I believe, S.A.'d young James Bulger. Those boys involved were jailed for a very long time, but I believe they have been released. And maybe the two murderers that have killed their 11-year-old classmate, maybe at some point they too could be considered safe to be released back into society, but not in the meantime. In the meantime, they need to be punished. Society needs to be given some justice. The family, the parents, the siblings of the 11-year-old boy, Mustafa Izat, his family and friends need some level of justice. So charging and incarcerating the two murderous boys responsible for Mustafa Izat's death, that needs to happen.